it, Big? With me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Lockdown Coverage, week number 10. The National Football League, Jets, Bucks. What more can I say? This was by far and away the worst watch of the day. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because the play on the field matched the weather for this game. Sloppy as hell. So, quickly, it was Ryan Fitzpatrick versus Josh McCown, okay? That in itself was enough to scare most people away. But for those of you who did turn into this game and tune in because obviously one of these two teams were your favorite or else there was no reason to watch, let me fill you in on the details of this game quickly. Nobody wanted to win. The Jets had horrible field position all game long, which led to their loss. You had a sequence that I thought summed this game up perfectly, in which Josh McCown throws a pick right around midfield, just throws it up for grabs in double coverage, and it's picked off by Brent Grimes, who returns it, let's say, 15 yards to the Jets' 35-yard line. The very next snap, Ryan Fitzpatrick throws it right back to the Jets. It's picked off by Roberts. I said, this is exactly what I was expecting when I turned this game on. Pick for pick. You throw one, I throw one. Anything you can do, I can do better. And in any event, the Jets just refused to get out of their own way. They had a ton of penalties in this game, a bunch of mistakes. They didn't run the football nearly enough. McCown threw it, I think, over 40 times, if not damn near 40 times, which is a recipe for disaster for this Jets team, the way that they're set up. And they never had good field position. And I want to say this from the Jets' point of view. I'm so disappointed in the Jets. I really am. And not because I thought they were a good team, not because I thought that they were going to make the playoffs or anything. I already told you I don't think they're going to win very many more games this season. But I was down on them early, and they've changed my whole perspective of what they are as a football team. More importantly, I love the coaching job Todd Bowles is doing. But I'm so disappointed in them because this was an opportunity to get back to 500 before your bye week. And this was a great team to do it against. A team that was downtrodden, didn't have their best receiver. There was a lot of turmoil swirling around this team as to whether there was a mutiny steaming and brewing in the locker room against the head coach. Has he lost the team? This was a great opportunity to go in there, and it didn't have to be pretty. 13-10 would have been suffice, which on this day would have been perfect for you to find a way defensively to get stops, maybe a turnover or two against a Ryan Fitzpatrick-led football team with no Jameis Winston, and find a way to win this game. It didn't have to. It could have been 9-6 for all I care. Just go in there and find a way to win, and you weren't able to do that. You made too many mistakes. I know the field position wasn't the greatest, but there were drop passes, there were mistakes, there were opportunities for you to make plays, and you didn't take advantage. You didn't go out and take advantage of a team that was there to be taken advantage of. And here we are. We've been bad-mouthing the Jets all year, and here you are with a chance to go into your bye week in Week 11 at 5-5. Who would have thought? And at 5-5, you're square dead in the middle of a wild card chase in the AFC with a legitimate shot to get one. Now at 4-6 with this, and this is an ugly loss. I mean, this is as ugly as it gets because the Buccaneers are not a good football team. Without Jameis Winston, without Mike Evans, you go in there and you lose to the Buccaneers. You don't score a touchdown until there's 28 seconds left on the clock. I was so appalled at the Jets' performance in this game. And really not from a defensive standpoint because the defense really did enough. I mean, they only gave up 15 points in this game. They did enough to win. But, I mean, you got to find a way to win this game. So I'm really disappointed in the Jets. From the Buccaneers standpoint, I mean, it's not much for me to say. No Mike Evans meant Deshaun Jackson was going to get more targets, and he did. And he showed up, and he performed for them. There's not a lot of takeaways from this game. It was a sloppy game. You beat a Jets team that's not very good themselves. There's not a lot to take away from this game other than you won. You snapped your losing streak, which is good for you. But I don't walk away from this game thinking the Buccaneers are any better than they were last week when they got their ass whooped by the Saints. I just think you beat a team at home that didn't come out and play their best football in some nasty conditions, and you got away with a W. Good for you. You're 3-6 now in the season. Next week was supposed to be your bye. Instead, you're playing the Dolphins on the road. Good luck with that. They're not a good team either. Maybe you can beat another AFC East team for the second consecutive week, but you haven't been good on the road this season, so I highly doubt that, but we'll see what happens, is essentially my synopsis of this game. You ran it a bunch of times with Doug Martin for little to no yards. I thought Deshaun Jackson's emergence was good, and maybe that's a sign of things to come with no Jameis Winston in the lineup for the foreseeable future. Maybe you can start getting D-Jax more involved even when Mike Evans comes back. But other than that, there weren't many good takeaways. Bernard Reedy in the returns game was nice. That was refreshing. But again, not many big takeaways from this game other than, hey, you won. Hey, how about that? Move on. Nothing to see here. Jets squander a big opportunity. Bucs snap their losing streak. Let's talk about it if anybody really gives a damn to talk about it. Cloud says, funny how they win when Jameis and Evans are out. Yeah, it was the weather and it was the team. If they would have played a better team, they would not have won this game. Trust me when I tell you that. And that's going to do it for this breakdown. And that was a nice, quick, efficient breakdown. Just how I drew it up. Just how the game entertained me. Little to none. That's how much of a breakdown you get for this game. Is the Jets go into Tampa and lose 15-10. Drop to 4-6 on the season. Great opportunity to get to 500 before the bye. And they squander it. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers snap their losing streak, get to 3-6 on the season. Hey, you won a game. Celebrate. Maybe this team hasn't quit on their head coach after all. Maybe they have. Maybe they haven't. Doesn't seem like it. In any event, you win. You're now 3-6 on the season with a 15-10 victory over the Jets. That's going to do it for your man Louie T here on Lockdown Coverage. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on the Louie T Network. Plenty more lockdown coverage to come, including the team that whooped this Buccaneers team's ass last week. They're out whooping ass now. They're on an ass thrashing tour. Next stop, Buffalo. Of course, I'm talking about the Saints, who after losing the first 2 games of the season, winners of 7 straight. I got that and more games to come. So don't you go anywhere. More lockdown coverage to come from your man Louie T. I'll see you in a second. Have a good one.